Hi, and welcome to the KKW Trucking Podcast. It's Dustin here with Eddie.
Hello.
And we're both really excited for the topics that we have on today's show, as well as all of our guests that we're bringing on. It's going to be a really good one. Hopefully our best show ever, Eddie. We're always trying to step it up each week.
I think it is going to be the best because we actually have the president coming on today.
And I am very excited. I think, with all of our guests on this episode, it's going to be really fun.
It is. It's going to be a great show.
Well, at the top of the show, as always, I do want to do some shout-outs. So first of all, I want to give a shout-out to Jim and Maria, who are actually celebrating their birthday today. We don't read it. We have everybody's birthday on the podcast, but they're celebrating on record day. So figured, let's give them a shout-out.
Say happy birthday, Jim and
Happy
Maria.
birthday, you guys.
Many more.
I wanted to give a shout out to Tim and Patty and the shop crew for always doing a good job. I know, Eddie, you wanted to expand on that.
Yeah, I want to thank Tim and Patty for everything they've been doing. They're constantly revamping their program to get better and better. I see the hard work that they put in back there. Tim's been helping me a lot on this test that I created for the orientation. So I just wanted to reach out and say thank you to Tim and Patty and also all of the mechanics that put in hard work back there.
Absolutely. And I want to give a personal shout out just to anybody who's stopped by my desk that I run into. You know, I get water a lot, see people in the break room. And everybody always has such kind words and nice things to say about the podcast and what we've been doing. So we really, really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. And any feedback is always greatly appreciated. And on that note, I did want to say Mike from Portland, the manager up there. Is it Mike Verus?
Mike Verus.
Yeah, he actually he threw out an idea for possibly setting up a camera and maybe doing a video podcast. So we may be doing that in the future. It wasn't something that I could get going on this month's show, but I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see if we can make that happen.
Good deal. Thank you, Mike.
So yeah, always appreciate the feedback and, the kind words. Next up is Lane Muzanowski.
Lane, I call him Lane 12 because his last name is so long.
But 12 for 12 letters?
12 letters, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Lane, have to give you a shout out and say thank you for all the pictures that you send me. Of course, I always like getting them and I share some of them on social media, but it's just always cool to see our truck in such unique locations.
Right.
And
thank you, Lane. Continue taking those good pictures.
I always say, I'm like, I can't do that. Right? I'm not a driver. I'm here at the office. So when all of our drivers, Oscar, I think it was Karen, Lane, all of them have sent me photos from the road and I really appreciate it. I share them. So to any of the other drivers, if you take photos, I can log them and get them in for the 2019 calendar. So I can get you in the contest, which hasn't officially started.
Would you happen to know offhand when we start that competition?
I think it starts around summer.
Okay. So make sure if you have any great pictures that you submit those pictures because if you win, first place winner wins $300.
Yeah.
Second place wins $200, and third place win $100.
And the first place also gets featured on the cover of the calendar and a month. And for anybody that submitted, for the 2018 calendar, which is actually coming, guys, that's on the way.
It's on the way.
If you haven't received your prize or anything, just be sure to contact Maria with FTS, and she'll be able to get you the prize or anything like that.
And step up your picture game if you're competing with Lane 12, because he's really, really good.
Very talented.
Yes, he is.
Totally a photographer. So really appreciate it, guys. And then, of course, we have to give a huge shout out to Lynnette Brown for taking over as president of CTA. So congratulations, Lynnette.
How cool is that, though, to have the president of the CTA? She works for your company, and she's the president of CTA. That is amazing.
Incredible. And as you'll see, I'm actually going to dive into the rundown right now. Eddie and I will do quick hits. And then, of course, we actually have Lynnette coming on this show. So very excited for that. Can't wait to talk to her and hear what, her mission is with CTA and get to know her a little bit better. We're going to have Israel on from recruiting to talk about. We had an increase with our referral bonus as well as it's a relocation package for Portland. So we want him to kind of explain those a little bit. And then we're bringing on Oscar Guzman, who is a former driver. He still drives.
He's a driver for KKW. He's a driver for FTS. He's a dispatch manager. He's dispatch and dispatch assistant, whatever his title is. He helps me on road tests.
He'll clarify.
Guzman does some of everything.
Yeah, so we're excited to have him on, talk to him. And just really glad you're all with us right now. And Eddie, let's go ahead and start the show.
Let's start it.
All right, let's jump into quick hits.
Quick hits.
All right, well, Eddie, I do want to, if you can explain a little bit, this month at KKW, we actually had an owner-operator pay change.
Yes, we gave the owner-operator some more money. Since the E-Log has came around, it's made it a little harder for, drivers to move around. So they have bumped the pay for the owner-operators. They went up 5 cents.
Awesome.
That is just a start. Hopefully we increase our business, we increase our on-time performance, and then I'm pretty sure pay can increase again. Incredible. So congrats to the owner-operators. So if you plan on going owner-operator, just come into the office and talk to your dispatcher and make sure you're running the miles. If you are running the miles, Mr. Benninghoff don't mind putting you into your own truck. Just make sure you're hitting enough miles. He doesn't believe in setting a driver up for failure. So he wants to make sure that a driver can run a certain amount of miles and he'll throw you in your own truck.
Okay, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to the recruiting department or Alicia Bachman in HR.
Yes.
So she can go over all the details and everything. Next up, there's actually, I don't know if you've seen this, Eddie. I'm on social media all day, but apparently after the E-Log change, there's been a parking shortage out on the road.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. And to our drivers that are experienced in this, sometimes you got to get a little creative. You just got to be creative. Back in the days, these drivers were very creative. They'll pull behind a Walmart. They'll pull to a 99-cent store. Sometimes you got to go in and ask permission from the store manager.
Yeah, I think usually Walmart's okay with it.
Some of them are, but they're starting to stop letting drivers park there because of drivers' trash in the parking lots.
Okay.
So if you are allowed to park at a Walmart, please don't throw trash on the ground.
Wherever you're at, respect the location.
Take care of the location. And also, I would like to mention that I believe Pilot and Loves, they're starting to upgrade their application. So now they have real-time parking, where you can look on the app and you can actually see how many stalls they have at that time.
Fantastic.
So that is a really cool tool to use while you're out there.
Right? If you're in a parking shortage, being able to see that ahead of time's got to help out.
But get creative, guys. Go back to the roots from the guys that paved these roads for us. Get creative.
All right. Thank you, Eddie. Next up, I don't know if you heard this. I actually came across this story again while kind of perusing social media, but December was the all-time trailer orders record for the industry.
Really?
Yes. So in that month, they moved more trailers of, merchandise, whatever, than at any other month previously during the whatever they record.
Wow.
So, and the last record was set, I believe, in 2013. So, hey, congrats to all the drivers out there.
Wow,
sounds like
big.
There's some work to go around.
That's big. So let's keep it going, guys. Let's have a record in January.
Yeah, keep it going.
February, the whole year. Let's break records.
All right. Next up, at KKW, we are no longer accepting trainees as hires. Drivers need to have 3 months of experience before they can come on board. And that was a change that was made at the top. Mm-hmm. And it's something that they, I think we do trainees, then we don't, then we do. It varies.
I don't think we're going to go back to the trainees because we're starting to find out that the trainees, when you get into the trucking industry, you really don't know if you want to be a trucker. You really don't know much about the industry.
Sure.
So we want to only get drivers that has been on the road at least 3 months, that know what they're getting into. That
Absolutely.
way it's not a waste of time for us, because when we were running a training program, we did it with no contract. Right. We're that confident in our company that we didn't feel we needed to contract the drivers to train them. But at the end of the day, we took a loss because we're training these drivers, and then after a month, they're like, I can't be a driver. My family misses me, or I need to be home more, or it's not for me. So that's why we got rid of the training program.
Cool. Yeah, just want to make sure we make that announcement so everybody knows.
But if you know anyone with 3 months plus, have them come over. They get that $1,000 referral bonus.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that a little bit more with Israel. And then lastly, Eddie, you're the one who showed me this. There was a Tesla truck sighting here in California.
Yes, and it was amazing. The Tesla truck, big rig tractor. So you guys know we're not just talking about the Tesla pickup. This is a Tesla big rig. It's matte black riding around California.
It looked pretty cool.
It sounds pretty cool too. So that's pretty cool. If you spot one, take a picture, share it on any platform, social media, and I'm pretty sure it may go viral because we enjoy seeing that truck.
All right. Well, that actually does it for Quick Hits. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next segment.
All righty.
All right. And we're back again. Next segment is with Lynnette Brown, CTA President. So welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're so glad that you're here.
It is an honor to have the CTA President to ask some questions and interview. And plus, what is your title here at KKW?
Chief Financial Officer.
Chief Financial Officer. So today is a great day. We're going to ask some great questions to you.
All right. Well, to start off, could you tell us a little bit about your history with KKW?
Well, you won't believe this because I look so young, I'm sure, but I've actually been here for 35 years, officially on the payroll.
35 years?
Yes,
wow.
I know, yeah. But before that, it goes back all the way to when I was a kid in elementary school. I would, for the summer, to get out of my mom's hair from being out of school, I'd come into work every day and file or whatever miscellaneous work needed to be done. Help around the office. So, gosh, that would be more like 45 years.
Wow. So what was your first official title here at KKW?
I was a computer room operator.
Oh, wow.
So you were doing what the tech guys do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first position,
cool.
Official position here.
Wow.
And then I feel like I've been in every department. It's actually been part of learning all about the company.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only place I haven't sat down and worked is in the shop. I probably should have, but I was in a warehouse position. I was in operations for a while, customer service, accounting, the computer room, safety, HR, all those areas. I've actually had that position throughout my career here.
Oh, wow.
Everywhere
in the company. Well, I'm actually curious, I've been here maybe 6 months, a little over 6 months. How long has this building been here?
I think this building opened in 1985, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, and it was built for KKW, if I recall?
Yeah, it was especially designed by at that time there was two owners, Carl Sargent and Dennis Firestone. So they designed the building specifically for what they were doing at the time, which was stocking for 3 customers. And so the spec of this building is very customized for us. And then later on that went away, but we still, have this. And
the first location was in Gardena, California. Am I correct?
Actually, there's one prior to that. I think it was in Compton, maybe?
Okay.
It was on Gage. But Gardena is before this building.
So, Mr. Firestone, I live in LA. I think our next location, we're going back.
Hey, fortunately, I live in Pomona, so I go home on my lunch break. Pretty nice.
You got it great. I wish I were you.
Not complaining. That is quite incredible. I remember when I came here, for my interview, being very impressed by the atrium and just the way the building was. I've worked in different offices, and a lot of times, they're very plain. This one has race cars in it and like all this stuff. I was like, whoa, this place is actually just cool.
It is amazing. This is an amazing place, and it's an honor to work here. And
absolutely,
especially if you've been able to go, and I've been able to go to other trucking terminals and trucking companies and see. A lot of times it's just a very simple setup. Not, it works for them, but I mean, when you come here and you see how nice and Mr. Firestone decorated this whole place himself. Right. He picked out the paint, the tile, everything, and he just did a really nice job. I think it makes people want to.
When they walk around, they come in the orientation room, then they see the showers. They like, this is just like a truck stop. So they really love it, and they always ask me, "Are those real trees growing out the ground?" And I'm like, "Yeah, those are real trees." Yeah, so pretty cool. So our next question would be, what does KKW stand for?
Well, so I had to look that up because I don't know it off the top of my head. So let me just tell you where it came from, and then I'll tell you what it stands for.
Okay.
So originally back in 1962, when this company was formed, there was 3 men on the board of directors, and their names, their initials of their names, is what the K and the W stand for. So I looked it up, and this was all back in 1962, so I had to pull out the old records. The 3 gentlemen were Thomas Kane with a K, Carl Krieger with a K, and Donald Walls with a W. So their 3 initials are
KKW.
Where it came from, yeah. And by the time Dennis bought it, the company in 1907, it had already, believe it or not, for such a small company, because it was very small back then, it had enough of a following and name recognition, because he toyed with changing the name, but there was too much. It had already been embedded in just 5 years into the customers, and they were all very familiar with it.
Hey, I get it.
So
Coming from
keep it.
Yeah.
from like marketing and everything, a rebrand is extremely challenging.
Yes, it is.
You know, people become familiar with your brand and the people that are there. And when you go through a rebrand, you can honestly, people are like, I don't even know who that is. I don't know if it's the same people that I've been doing business with. Pretty crazy. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. You are officially the CTA president. So congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
is quite
Thank
an
you.
honor. Yes.
My official, the night happened on Monday, this past Monday. So it just fresh in my mind, and I'm still not used to the whole idea, but I'm getting used to the new duties and stuff. Over the last couple of days, I've been booking my calendar. So
Dennis Firestone was also the president of CTA, wasn't he?
yes, in 1995.
Wow.
Okay.
And as an interesting tidbit, we now are officially the first father-daughter CTA president.
Oh, cool.
You know,
You get that distinction as well.
Yeah, so I'm the
Awesome.
second female CTA president, but I'll have the honor of being the first father-daughter.
Amazing.
CTA.
That's
I know
awesome.
Dennis is so proud of you.
Yeah, he's been such a good coach. I really appreciate his input and his wisdom has really helped me.
Sure. It was fun for me on social media because on Monday I'm getting, the company page is getting tagged and everything and Twitter and Facebook and everybody's like, check out these pictures. So it was fun just to, kind of see it happening live and share some of those updates and stuff. So
Right. And they have like a inauguration just like the president of the United States, like something like that.
Yeah, much smaller. It was much smaller, but it was a really wonderful. I had to get up and give a pretty grand speech. It was about 20 minutes long, but so I'd prepared for that, and there's a lot of planning into the evening. But yeah, it was a wonderful experience. I'm happy it's over because it's a lot of work, but I'm looking forward to the year.
Well, as CTA president, what is your mission or what's the platform you're going to take with you to CTA?
Yeah, one of the things I had to do is develop what's called a theme. They make you, but you have to come up with a theme and what stamp do you want to leave behind. And my theme is the heart of trucking, which basically is meant to tap into the people side of our business. So really focus everybody on, it's not just trucks and tires and fuel and freight.
Mm-hmm.
It's men and women and, drivers and office and mechanics. It's people that make up our business. And it's the people that keep the wheels moving.
Right.
So, when we talk to our legislator, the lawmakers or the regulators, I want to make sure they know when they're making laws or rules that affect our business, that they're affecting people. When they shut down a rest stop or a rest area because, maybe it's for some reason, there's a reason to shut it down. They just put men and women, displace them, and now they have to find another place to park their truck and get rest. So,
right, absolutely.
You really want to keep that at the forefront of our conversation. And there's a second part to that, which is the giving side that the California Trucking Association does.
Okay.
In 2017, that organization and all of its members raised over $250,000 and donated to nonprofits.
Wow.
And no one ever hears about that.
Right, I was just going to say that. I haven't heard anything.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know
to
that.
ourselves, and we never talk about it. So I want to make sure we're aware of all the good things we're doing in the communities that we are in, and the different regions that we have presence in. Sure. And the many lives we touch.
And the California CTA is one of the biggest, isn't it?
Yes, it is the biggest. In America, they have the American Trucking Association, and California is the biggest association in that federation of states.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So what can we look forward to? Are there going to be like some stories being shared? How do you want to actually get that message out?
Well, I'll be on, with my California Trucking Association compadres. I'll be out on the road with them. My main goal this year is to get in front of as many members of that organization as possible. I want to go out on prospect calls with the sales reps for that organization. I'll be meeting the CHP, the commissioner for the CHP. I'll be meeting with a lot of legislators. It's an election year, so I'll be out lobbying for trucking interests and trying to find business-friendly lawmakers that we put our name behind and back. Right. So it'll be a busy year, I plan.
We'll still be fortunate enough to see you around here sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
We better, CTA.
Yeah. Awesome. I know Dennis was involved, and I believe if I read correctly, you were a previous vice president with CTA, or...
Right. The process is quite long. So really it starts at the local level. The CTA is divided into chapters or units. They call them units.
Okay.
And so you have to start at the unit level. You have to be a chairperson of your unit. And I did that for about 2 or 3 years. And then you move up and you take on higher levels. So all in all, the process probably took about 10 years to accomplish. So you go from unit chairperson, then you policy committee chairperson, and then you get elected to be an officer of the organization.
Okay.
And then as you're an officer, there's like about 5 steps in the officer chairs to go through till they finally vote you in as the president. It's a voting process. It's not an automatic thing.
Sure.
They vote you in.
And so as president, how long is the term? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Okay.
1 year. We want you to have 4 or 8.
I'll try 1 year. It'll be good.
Nice.
Cool deal.
We also, with each guest, something we like to do is just get to know you a little bit. So, we always ask everybody kind of like, what are your hobbies or what's something that you do outside of work? And I know I've actually shared some stuff on social media and, seen stuff around the office, but I know you're involved with like animal rescue.
Yes.
I think we gave you a shout out in one of the first podcasts. Oh
yeah, when you had those trailers go up to, what was it, Houston, Texas?
Yeah, Houston, Texas, right. We brought back 56 animals that had been displaced by the hurricane. Not actually displaced by the hurricane, but they were already in the shelter. They were already up for adoption. But in order to make room for all the incoming animals that were homeless, we went and helped relieve that space. So we picked up shelter animals that were already up for adoption, and we brought them, and they've all been adopted. So.
All of them?
Yes.
Wow, good job.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Quite an experience.
Good job. As far as animal rescue, are you involved in any programs, or is it just something you donate your time to? Whatever.
It's all donated my time. I foster a lot of animals. In fact, right now I have a mother dog. She's a pit bull. And she gave birth to 8 puppies in my house at my house on we got back on Tuesday, so it was Tuesday night, I think.
Wow.
That is a busy week.
Yes, it was. So right now we have a little place set up for her to be all comfy and cozy, and she was on this, she was running on the streets and
oh wow.
For a long time, about 2 months. So.
You're a great person for that.
Thank you.
Somebody has to do it. When I first came here in the office, I had seen you in there feeding cats with a bottle, and I was like, what are you doing?
I try not to bring all that, but sometimes they have to eat, and they're on bottle, you got to do it.
That is really great. That is really great. Thank you for that.
Sure.
I'm an animal lover myself, so.
Oh, I think everybody who loves animals give back in some way, but it really satisfies that part of me, that part you want to give. Or you're doing life-saving work, and I just feel like it's something that really touches me and want to give my time to. So.
Absolutely.
Do you have any pets of your own?
I do. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats.
Okay, and they get along with each other.
Yeah, everybody's one happy family.
Pretty cool.
That's good.
All right. So, what's your favorite movie?
Well, I have a lot of favorites, but I think the one that my husband and I watch like over and over again, which I love every time I watch it, is The Notebook.
Oh yeah,
I could watch that movie.
Ryan Gosling and what's her name?
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember her name.
You're the movie guy.
I just love that movie. First of all, I read the book, and I love the book.
As is the case a lot of times, right?
You read a lot of books?
No, I wish I read more, but
I was going to say, you seem pretty busy. I don't think you have time to sit and read a book.
Rachel McAdams. That's her name. I got it.
You got it. You're a movie guy. I'm like,
Yeah, I think everybody has like one of those movies or something that you can watch over and over.
Yes,
and
how about music? Do you like music?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Who would be your favorite artist?
I'm a classic rock kind of girl, so I guess in current, I don't even know any current bands.
It doesn't have to be current.
Oh,
like what band would you
like
say?
The Eagles. I love.
The Eagles. Oh yeah, the Eagles are good.
Any of those old time bands, I really like those.
I would like to make it to the Forum. I heard it's all redone now, like super nice.
Yeah, and I hadn't even been yet, and I live right down the street.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
One day, try to get there.
One of these days.
I did go to an Adele concert. I didn't think I thought, well, I don't even know her music, but that was a really good concert.
She could sing. She's a very great singer.
And I heard she's really, really good live.
Oh yeah. Well, she's kind of a comedian too.
Really?
A lot of her show was talking and kind of
very entertaining.
Yeah,
huh?
It was a good show.
Awesome. That actually, Eddie, unless you have any follow-up questions, that actually kind of wraps up our segment.
I would like to just throw it to Lynnette and see to Miss Lynnette Brown, the CTA President, and see if there's anything she would like to add or anything you would like
any
to
shout
say.
outs or final words or anything?
Oh, I just want to thank you guys for what you're doing. And I think that giving the message that we have here and sharing it with all the people that are listening is a really good service that you're providing. And,
cool.
Thank you for keeping it up and making it entertaining.
Hey, we have fun. Yeah. So we have a good time. And like we said, earlier in the shout outs on this episode, we run into people and they're like, oh, when's the next episode? Or I heard you guys. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I got some drivers. They'll call me. They're like, when is the next podcast coming out? I listened to it driving to Oregon or something like that. So it's a really cool idea. Dustin came up with.
Well, hey, I like doing the show and it's a lot of fun. But most of all, we're just really glad that everybody, at the company, the drivers, everybody, is either willing to listen or come on. And, just like right now, we really appreciate you coming on the show. It's going to be a great segment.
Well, thank you for giving me a few minutes with you guys.
No, thank you, Miss President. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All right. And on to our next segment. We're actually here with Israel from recruiting.
Hello, hello.
And first of all, is recruiting the best department?
Ooh, I'm going to step on some toes and say yes.
See, my toes are under the table right now, and he's sitting right across from me, so he tried to step on my foot. So I'm going to have to tell him that I think that training department, and I got to throw my next door neighbor in there, safety department is the best.
Well, you know what? I think every single department is viable, important, very important in every company. It makes the whole KKW family feel like a one functioning organism. So I think that's really good.
There you go. I always like to say we're like a team.
Yeah.
We all play for the same team. We just got different positions.
That's right.
So play your part and we can win the championship.
There you go. All right. Well, Israel, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. And we're glad to get your insight into recruiting. So I know I actually sent out an email about a week ago referencing an increase to the referral bonus. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to see if you could come on and kind of explain that to our drivers so they can take advantage of that to the max.
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say that an increase in drivers or an increase in the referral bonus does not affect the drivers' loads or affect their paycheck in any way. In fact, if it does, it makes it better because the more drivers we're bringing in, the more customers we get, the more loads we get, therefore the more miles you get. And at the very end, therefore, that means the more money you get as a driver. So help us please to build this company. Help us please to get more drivers to come on board. The incentive went from $500 per driver to now $1,000 per company driver that you bring on board. So we doubled it.
$1,000?
$1,000.
Wow.
So
is that real?
It is 100% real. So before, the 500 was split two ways. You would get $250 after the first month, or really after the first load, and then you get the second $250 after the first month that your referral came on board. Now you get the full 500 just after the first load that they do. Gotcha. And if they stick around for a month, you get the other 500. So make sure that you bring on good drivers, loyal drivers that you know are going to be here for at least a month. But obviously, we want them here forever.
Correct. So what about the training? I hear we cut the training program out, so it's no longer trainees. These are all experienced drivers?
All experienced drivers, but we're willing to road test drivers that are within the area of Pomona because we can road test them out here. They need to at least have 3 months of experience. And if they have within a month from the last time they drove till, them applying, then we can bring them on board and road test them out. If they're good to go, no training needed, we can bring them on.
Great. I love it. Sounds good.
Awesome. Now, when it comes to the referral program, are the drivers just handing out a card or giving their name to somebody? How do you keep track of it?
What's the best way from a recruiter to a driver?
Yes.
How would I get out here and recruit these drivers?
Well, the best way from a driver to a recruiter is for them to either take one of my business cards or Chris Robinson's business cards, come into the office, or write your name on a card if you don't come into the Pomona office frequently. Write your name on a card, your truck number as well, and hand it to the referral because a lot of the times they forget your name. And referrals will tell me all the time, I forgot his name, and they'll start describing him to me. I'm like, you're describing every truck driver that I know. So I don't know. Right. I don't know who to give it to. It's like, maybe it's Eddie. I don't know.
Right. You got a long beard or something like that. Yeah. You're like, we got a few guys around here with beards.
So write your first and last name on a piece of paper if you don't have our business cards. If you have our business cards, write your names and your truck numbers on the back of the business card. My office or the recruiting office is always open And you can always take my business cards off my desk, even if I'm not there. I don't have any issues with that. And Chris doesn't either. And Chris, for those who know, sits on the other side of the wall. He's here a lot of the time. So just because there's a wall there doesn't mean that nobody's sitting there. Just walk on back there and grab one of his cards, especially if you're one that he brought on.
Awesome. Well, I also heard that we're doing it's like a relocation package for drivers going to Portland.
Yes.
I wanted to see if you can kind of expand on that as well.
Absolutely. So we're willing to offer $3,000 to help any driver relocate over to the Portland, Oregon area. Now, it has to be Portland. Has to be within a reasonable area around Portland, like Hillsboro's fine. Vancouver, Washington, I think is fine. It just can't be way down in Medford, for example. It has to be within the certain parameters of Portland.
Wow, $3,000.
$3,000.
We really want some drivers out of Portland, huh?
Yes. We have a terminal that's based out of there. We're looking to populate it. So the way that it works, though, those payments is to start off, you get $1,000. After 60 days, you get the other 500. After 90 days, you get the other 500. After 180 days, you get the other 500. And after 210 days. So it equals out to about 6, almost 7 months total is how you get the full $3,000. So on the 210th day, you get another 500. And that's the last of it that equals out to 3,000. So we do it in payments because we want to be smart. We don't want to give you $3,000 up front and then you bail. So we decided to do it in payments. And we'll stay true to our words if you stay true to yours.
Drivers, get out there and recruit some drivers. It sounds like a lot of money going around right now.
Yes. So anything we can do to help grow the company so that we can continue to be what Eddie always says, and I agree with, the best in the West.
There we go, the best in the West.
There you go. All right, well, you're actually heading up to Portland, if I'm correct. So for any of our drivers that are actually up there, Israel's going to be in the area. Are you going to be stopping by the yard or the terminal?
Yeah, so I'm going to arrange to be a ride-along with Mike Vorus. Shout out to FTS Mike Vorus up there.
All right.
We're going to do a ride-along, hopefully, and then also just to meet any of the drivers. So I'm going to have a lot of time over there to meet with our current drivers, to meet with new drivers. If you're a candidate that's interested and you just happen to re-listen to this podcast,
I hope so.
Hit me up. Shoot me an email. Maybe we can put email in the show notes or something.
Sure.
And we can get a cup of coffee. We can get a meal. I love ramen. We can do that as well. And we'll just talk about KKW and why it is the best in the West and try and bring you over to our family.
I say, why not drop your number?
Okay. My office cell phone number is 909-634-9753. So give me a call. I actually respond better to text, so text me and we'll try and meet up.
Awesome. Well, I mean, of course, have a great trip up to Portland.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I've never been there, so
it's a nice place. Right it's a nice place, but it's very green. That's the great thing about Portland. It's a lot of green there, a lot of trees because it rains a lot.
I mean, Portland in January though, that's got to be pretty cold, I would assume.
Yeah, I think right now on average it's like 48 degrees, raining every day. Chris Robinson is over there right now, and I asked him, "How's the weather?" He said, "Cold and wet." So. That's what I'm going to be expecting.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can get some drivers out of Portland to come drive down here to sunny California and then drive back to Portland.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. Well, while we have you on the show, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what are your hobbies? What are some things that you're into? Just so, everybody can kind of get to know you a little better.
Man, well, let's see, hobbies. I guess right now what I'm really into is just being involved at my church, just helping out, with the children's ministry there, and just becoming more educated on specific things like theology, systematic theology. So if you see me reading some big books around here, it's because I'm just reading.
That's why you walk around looking like you're important with those big old
like I'm important. No, try not to look important, but it's just, I got my my satchel walking around the office.
Right.
It's just better to carry it than with one hand carrying two big books around me. So
that's what's up. I always see you in the gym, like reading your books and things like that. I never knew what you were doing. I never asked.
Yeah.
So now I know.
That's what I'm doing, just reading. Yeah.
Good deal.
Cool. If you had to pick one movie, what would you declare as your favorite movie?
Oh, that's easy. Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay. 100%. I think is that still the highest rated movie on IMDb?
I think it is, and it is in my heart, and it always will be. It's just hard to top it.
So I got one for you.
Okay.
Who's your favorite artist?
What do you mean? Musically? Yeah. Ooh, man, that's a really good one.
Right? So many genres, so
many genres, and then I want to try and pick someone that everyone will know because there's a few that I like that some people don't know, like Josh Garros, for example. He's a singer-songwriter, but I know he's not very popular, or at least well known. But
some of our guys know who he is.
He lives in Portland too, so
maybe
we can shout out.
I'll tag him in a post. Be like, yo. Yeah. We gave you a shout out on this podcast.
Hey, that'd be great.
Yeah, and I guess something that most people like. I really dig Bob Marley, but I listen to a lot of his deep tracks. A lot of the stuff like Three Little Birds and Buffalo Soldier. But I like a lot of the stuff that is way deep, buried below all of his hits. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay. I like a lot of oldies, but one group that I used to like while I was on the road is Three Doors Down. It kind of keep me awake. It's a song from there. I won't say when I'm going to play it, but it's a special song on one of their albums that I'm going to play for a special occasion. But I love that. I love that group.
Yeah, they are.
How about yourself, Dustin?
Honestly, my favorite thing to listen to is ironically movie themes. So I love John Williams, and I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. So
yeah,
oh yeah.
Let me see a move or two.
Oh, I'll show you a video. I get down to some Michael Jackson.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. I got to see that moonwalk. How you do it?
Yeah, no, and I just put on YouTube at home on my TV, and I'll be doing the dishes or something, listening to the Home Alone theme, Jurassic Park or something.
Cool deal.
I was gonna say you're at home watching or washing the dishes, and all of a sudden you go. He does a little kick, and your girl's like, "What are you doing?"
Right? Okay, well, all right, man. Well, that does it for this segment, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes,
Did you have any shout-outs or anything you wanted to throw out, final words?
Yeah, well, actually, right now, shout out to Malcolm Killebrew. Killebrew, yeah. Man, he brought me like 4 drivers. Do the math, guys. That's $4,000 that he could be getting.
He's working.
Up to 4,000. So he's doing a good job referring. So shout out to you, Malcolm. Keep hustling. Keep bringing the drivers.
That is awesome.
We want the drivers to grow, and we want you to keep getting money. So definitely. Oh, and by the way, one big thing. This offer ends the end of March 31st.
Oh, that actually is a really big thing.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it while it's hot.
Here.
Exactly. Yes, please.
All right. Well, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get you back on the show. We'll have
most definitely. We'll try to get you back on the next one or the one after that.
Sounds good.
Because it's great to have a recruiter come in and talk to the drivers. Because we want to get more and more drivers. We want to build the team so we can continue being the best in the West.
Sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eddie. We're back with a new segment, and now I'm excited to introduce Oscar Guzman, former KKW driver. Technically still drives sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
And works for FTS.
He's
so
another one of our drivers that's wearing a lot of hats around here.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. We can't wait to get some of your insights on what it's like to drive for KKW. And you're the first person to come on from FTS, so we want to hear a little bit about that side of the company as well as some of our remote locations.
Yeah, all our remote locations are KKW, but we are FTS. So
gotcha.
If you see if you're driving out there and you see any day cabs and you're like, why is there a day cab in Salt Lake City or Portland or Reno or whatever? It's like, well, there's an FTS location.
There you go. All right. Well, first of all, have you ever been on a podcast?
No, first one.
First time for everything.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Scratch it off your bucket list.
Have you ever wanted to do your own podcast?
Yeah, I thought about it. Joe Rogan's always saying that anybody can do their podcast.
Yeah, you just got to have something to say, right? Something to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's definitely fun. I mean, Eddie and I have a really good time.
I love it. I enjoy it. I really feel like I'm on the radio, like we're really running a radio show. I tell Dustin all the time, he got it.
Yeah.
He got it. He could be a radio host.
Well, yeah, we're really glad that you're here. But first of all, I wanted to ask you, what is it like driving for KKW? Or what do you like most?
Well, I actually started here in 2015 as a student driver. I was fresh out of school.
Oh, so you went through our training program?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeffrey Wilson was my trainer. I was his first trainee.
Okay, Jeff.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't even want to do it, but Eddie, the other Eddie, like, yeah, you should do it. You're a good driver or whatever. But yeah, he was great. Showed me a bunch of tricks, tools of the trade and trucker secrets that nobody else will tell you.
How long ago was that?
That was in I think I started August of 2015, August or September. And then I trained for 2 weeks, and then they gave me a truck, hit the road.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
How'd you feel about the training program?
It was cool. They told me it was going to be a month, but it really depended on the student or whatever.
So if you're like up to speed,
Yeah,
you're good to go.
I took to it pretty quick. So
Nice.
They gave me a truck and they gave me a load going to the bay, which is pretty scary for your first load.
Yeah, I took that trip too. That 5. My first load was Washington. So when I got through those Shasta Mountains, at the end of the day, I was sore, like I was lifting weights.
Yep.
Because you have the anxiety. It makes you hold on to the wheel really tight.
Yep.
And if you do that, at the end of the day, you're going to be really sore. So I would tell my wife, I'm like, I don't think I can be a truck driver. She's like, why? I'm like, I'm sore at the end of the day. And she told me, I promise you, she told me, try relaxing.
Yep.
And I relaxed and it worked.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because Oscar actually went out, I think it was either a week or 2 ago, and when he got back, he was like, dude, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, we were short. Like, there was a guy on vacation, and we lost another guy, so we had to change it. Anyways, Bob was like, hey, man, I need you to drive on Monday to Bakersfield. And I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I can do it. Got to Bakersfield, did a drop and hook, went out to Long Beach, did a drop and hook, then I came back. And then the next day, it's just the same thing. Hey, I need you to do something else.
So this isn't what you do on a regular anymore.
No.
So now you're doing what?
I just dispatch. Right now, I mostly do with Portland. But anyone that needs coverage, I'll go. Like, I'll go to Portland. I'll go to Reno. I've been going to Denver a lot these last few months.
So that means you went from KKW driver to driving with FTS, running the remote locations.
Yep.
And now you're dispatching.
Yep.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Amazing.
My official title is fleet administrator.
Okay.
But I do everything. I
Nice.
do road tests for you.
Yeah, you do.
I go out and I dispatch. I'll move. When I was in Denver, I played yard dog for a little bit. And a bunch of trailers moving everywhere. And yeah, I do everything, man.
You got tree jobs.
Yeah.
So when you're out on the road, I mean, what's like your favorite snack, or where do you like to stop and grab food?
I always go to Love's. Love's, they're clean, they're new. Their reward system is like set up in a way that you don't have to use your points right away. The TA, I don't know if it's changed since I stopped driving, but when I was a driver, they expire every month. So if you don't use your shower points or your in-house points for the food or whatever, they expire. Love's is up to a year. So
Nice.
You save up all your points. A lot of guys will save all their points for like 6-7 months. And then they'll go in there and they'll buy a CB or they'll buy a cooler. Or buy big, crazy stuff.
Yeah, I love their point system too.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so I always stopped at Love's. If I had extra shower credits, I'd go use the shower even if I wasn't going to use the shower.
Might as well, right?
It's a private room,
Right.
You gotta spoil yourself sometimes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, tell us, how do you feel about the company from a driver standpoint, running KKW and then going local with FTS? What kept you around here so long?
The company's always been really good to me. Like, I started off as a student driver, and the main reason I came to KKW is because I didn't have to team drive. A lot of companies will make you team drive if you have no experience, and I didn't like that. I can't trust somebody while I'm asleep to do what what I know has to be done.
Right, right.
And it's like, but, then after a few months of driving on my own, the other Eddie asked me to be a trainer. And I was like, I don't know. And then he's like, well, we give you guys an incentive to do it. And I'm like,
all right.
Put him in my truck. Come on, man, let's do it.
So how did you feel about training?
The first guy I trained was tough. And I knew it was going to be tough because I'm a young guy. I'm 26 now, but when I started, I was 23. And I think I had just turned 24, and this guy was like 40s, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm your trainer. And he's like, how old are you?
You're like, oh man.
God.
I've had a trainee like that recently. He
Yeah.
was like, don't put me in a truck with no young guy.
Oh.
How old is this guy?
Yeah, I was like, man, I obviously have more experience than you. I obviously know what I'm doing. They don't make anybody a trainer.
Correct.
So yeah, we got up to Salinas, and he was like, I was like, what were we doing? We were shutting down for the day at a Petro, and I was like, there's a spot right here. It's wide open. Just back it in. I'll go outside to watch you, and I don't stop unless I'm yelling at you because that means you're gonna hit something. He's like, yeah, don't tell me what to do. I got this. Like, all right, man. I let him try it for like 30 minutes, and he wasn't getting it. And I was like, if you want, I can show you how to do it. You sit in the passenger seat, and then I'll let you do it. Once you kind of gather yourself.
Sure.
And then he was like, you know what? Just do it. And I did it. And then as soon as I parked, I was going to set the brakes. And I was like, yo, this is what you're doing wrong. He gets out. He calls Eddie. He's like, I quit. I'm done. I can't work with no young kid.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? Like, because of my age? Like, that's...
Right.
So get used to it. Like, you might have to... You're going to see some... You're not going to go far if you think you're better than everyone else and you don't know what you're doing.
Correct. It's always in the truck, and I tell the drivers all the time, stay a rookie because you're always learning. You're always learning. It's nobody in the trucking industry, Dustin, that knows everything. Yeah. I just asked Casey the other day, do you think it's anybody in the trucking industry that knows everything? And he was like, nope, I don't think it's anyone.
Well, and Eddie always says, even on this show, I mean, we're all on the same team. We should be working together. It's always not about together. Your age or anything always like that. Together. We all are trying to accomplish the same goal.
Correct. And that's just like KKW and FTS. We're all the same team.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all on the same team. FTS just run our local.
Guys on the line side, like they'll ask me questions, guys I trained. Hey man, I'm stuck in NORPAC, in Washington, and Longview. My weight's doing this. What do I have to do? Well, what notch are you at? Can you make it into California legally? Are you within the 10-foot thing?
So you're still coaching and training.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm like, just move it up one. You should be fine. Hit the scales again. Let me know. Call me back.
Right. So tell me, how did you go from KKW to FTS?
Yeah. So I trained for a little while, and then we stopped hiring trainees. And then, so I kept driving line, and
position came available.
Yeah. I was like next in line.
How does it work? Do you have to go on you have to go on a wait list?
Well, for Pomona, there's a waiting list because there's so many drivers that live down here that want to go local, that want to go home every day.
So how do you get on that list? Who would I reach out to if I wanted to get on that list?
Recruiting has a spreadsheet, and then they'll adjust it accordingly. So then I was next on the list, and I talked to Bob about working on his fleet, and he said, yeah, I need a guy that can work Tuesday through Saturday. Can you do it? I'm your guy. Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
And when it's busy, I work Mondays and Sundays or whatever day I can pick up extra, and 10, 12 hours, 14 hours a day. And
so now that you're in the office doing the dispatching, are you working closer with the remote managers?
Yeah. I talk to them a lot, actually. I've talked to everywhere I've been, and then I talk to other managers that aren't at the locations that I usually go to, but like Ron in Seattle, I talk to him.
So Ron is one of the remote managers in Seattle?
Yeah, he's at a Sumner at our location up there. But I'll talk to anybody, Cindy in Phoenix, Shane in Denver.
Right. Shane is our newest dispatch, right?
Yeah, right. Shane is our newest remote manager. Yeah.
Okay. And I want to shout out Mike Varouse. Mike, he does a lot. He's a very, very good guy.
Big Mike.
Who runs Arizona?
Cindy Purdue.
Cindy is another star. Like, she started here at a young age. She's still here.
She's been here
Cindy,
like 50 years or something.
You are a star, Cindy. Michelle runs San Leandro, and we got Ernesto.
Ernesto is in Patterson for our restoration.
Where is Chuck?
Chuck is in Reno.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Chuck.
And he was in Stockton, but Petco moved their operation out of state.
So while we actually have you here on the show, I did want to ask, we've been asking everybody, first of all, what's your favorite movie all time?
My favorite movie of all time?
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, it never gets old. You can always put it on. You're like, oh.
I think Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, yeah. That's a great movie.
Is that Stanley Kubrick? I think it is.
The director?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think it is.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like 2 as much. Have you seen part 2? They got a 2 out.
Really?
Yeah, it's not good as 1. Yeah, they got it.
The first one's classic, though.
Yeah, it is.
Man, whenever I'm in the first 45 minutes of that movie, so I can laugh. Yeah. I laugh so hard.
What about music? Who's your favorite artist?
Right now or ever?
Just
either way.
Either way, yeah.
Ever, I think Eminem.
Eminem?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then right now I'm really into this mumble rap stuff. Like Post Malone.
Okay.
21 Savage.
Okay.
I can't understand it, but the beats are fire. Man. That's all I care about.
So do you listen to all hip-hop?
Hip-hop, country. I listen to some country.
What's a country artist you like?
Kane Brown. He's kind of underground right now.
Okay.
Wheeler Walker Jr., that's my boy. Wheeler Walker, I can listen to that dude all day.
There you go.
Funny.
What's your other one, Dustin? The snacks. What's your favorite snack on the road?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, on the road?
Yeah.
Man, you can't go wrong with a good tornado.
A tornado?
Yeah.
Is that like a burrito?
They're like 2 for $3 little snack things on those rollers.
I don't know what that is.
Me either.
You're gonna wait. You got
to the hot dogs
at like a 7-Eleven type deal.
Stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are they like taquitos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of like those.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a couple of those.
It's a tornado.
Tornado.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look for those.
Yeah.
Those are
If y'all can see, he's licking his lips now.
They're garbage. They're not good for you at all. But you got enough points. If you fuel up 10 gallons, you probably get enough points to get them for free.
Nice.
Did you work on keeping yourself healthy while you were out on the road? Like,
No, not at all.
You
I
just
gained,
lost
I
it.
think, maybe 60 pounds.
Yeah, I had dumbbells and a jump rope. I didn't want to go.
I tried. Jeff had some weights and stuff, and then I was, like you said, like you're just so tired. You push yourself so much sometimes, and you're just like, you know what? I'm going to go inside, give me a burger so I can feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go to sleep. And that's the worst thing you can do.
Right.
Eat a big heavy meal and then knock out like that.
We had Chris on the podcast talking about upgrading our gym equipment and, trying to get some routines or some exercises that, drivers can do.
And also, I would like the
here.
drivers to know that Casey is supposed to be Casey, myself, Andrew, coming here at 5:30 in the morning to work out. So if you guys ever want to stop by at 5:30 and work out, Casey will be there. I'm supposed to be there too, but I know Casey will be there. He's always on time. So come work out in the gym with us.
Awesome. Well, that actually kind of wraps up this segment, but I did want to throw it to you. Do you have any shout outs or any final words?
Come work, come ready to work. And that's, oh man, I thought this was going to be different. I thought we were going to have some leisure time. I'm going to be able to pull over and go hiking or go, fishing in this little pond I passed. Like, come ready to work. Take any load you can. Do any favors for anybody. Always say yes. Don't cry about it. Work weekends, work holidays, and you'll always have work.
Correct. And that's the way anything works.
Yeah.
On football team, you're going to keep throwing it to the guy that keep catching it.
Exactly.
You're not going to keep throwing it to the guy that's dropping it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to go home every 5 days, 7 days, and you're trying to be home for the weekend so you can watch a football game or whatever, you're not going to make as much money as the guy that stays out for 2 weeks.
Correct. But we do have the option.
Yeah, you can, but you're not going to make as much.
He's just telling you guys that you're not going to make as much money as the guy that's staying out there.
Right.
So if you come here to make
our
money,
work week is set up. Our Mondays are Thursdays. I don't know if they've changed it since I was a line driver, but that's when your pay period starts.
Yeah, it's different on the KKW side.
That's what
KKW is Friday to Thursday.
Okay, so they changed it.
Yeah.
But when I was on KKW, it was Thursday to Wednesday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always start on Thursdays, work through the weekend. That way, and always stay on your what's that app?
PeopleNet app.
PeopleNet app. Submit your BOLs as soon as they get
through the
signed.
drive axle. Always
axle.
submit your bills through the drive axle because now we've cut it down to a 1 week. You're in a hole only 1 week. It used to be 2 weeks, so it gave you more time to turn your paperwork in.
Yeah.
So now you want to be on top of your paperwork and get it over here to the billing department so they can close it out and get you paid.
Get paid.
Yep. The faster you get, man, as soon as you get that signature, take a picture, send it in. That way you're on it with the money, man. I'm always about the money.
That's right. That's
Keep me on a
right.
pre-plan. Call me if I'm running late. I'll call you if I'm running late. I'll call you if I have a breakdown. Just leave me alone. Give me the load. I'm on it.
There you go.
There you go. Well, thanks for stopping by, Mr. Guzman. It was a pleasure
Thank you
having
so
you
much,
on the show.
You guys got it.
And continue wearing all these hats around here. And I'm going to try to give you one more hat to wear around here.
Yes,
I know you won't say no.
Jack of all trades and master of all.
There you
That's
go.
right. Good deal.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right, Eddie, that does it for this month's episode. I thought that was great.
Yeah, we got another great show for you guys.
I mean, 3 guests in one show, that's pretty good.
Yeah, is that a record?
That might be.
I think we only had 2.
So, yeah, this was fantastic. I do, you can't say it enough. I just want to thank everybody for, taking a little bit of time out of your day to come on the show and share your expertise. And, particularly Lynnette sharing her mission with CTA.
Yes.
Congratulations again.
It's not often that you get to interview the president of the CTA.
Right? We're very fortunate.
Yes, we are.
So,
yes, we are.
Incredible. To all of our listeners, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to keep the conversations going on social media. I am the social media guy here, so if you see the podcast on there, leave a comment. Or if you heard something on the show that you want to talk about further, keep the conversation going. We really appreciate it.
Keep it going, and also share it. Share it and hit the like button below.
Yeah, we
I just
appreciate
like saying that, Dustin. Hit the like button below.
Right? I mean, it feels good, and hopefully, you guys enjoy listening. So, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe on iTunes and on the Google Play Store. And if you would like, you can feel free to leave us a 5-star review. You can leave us any feedback you want, but we appreciate 5 stars.
There you go, all 5 stars.
So if anybody leaves us a review, I'll be sure to read that in the shout-outs on future episodes. And, like I said earlier, if you guys have any pictures from the road or, any stories to share, feel free to shoot them my way. You can email me at dgarbaciak, that's DGARBACIAK at KKWtrucks.com, and I'll be sure to share it on the show. And then I wanted to make sure I made note, feedback for the company. If you have anything that's going on out on the road or that you would like us to take note of, maybe get a policy change or something like that, contact Alicia Bachman in HR.
And if you want to stay anonymous, you can. We have a suggestion box in the driver's lounge. You can write your suggestion down, and you don't have to leave your name. You don't have to leave a truck number. But if you do want to leave your name or a truck number, you're more than welcome. But that way you can stay anonymous if you want.
All right, Eddie. Well, that actually concludes the show. So
and one last thing,
sure,
I gotta always thank all the drivers out there on the road.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. None of this will be possible without the drivers on the road.
So thank you guys, and we'll be back next month.
Go.